So today I want to bring you a really interesting episode because normally what we're doing is, you're hearing from me talking. I'm Kevin Van Leer from Rebuilders International, but I want you to hear from our lead coach today. So I'm going to introduce to you a guy who has been working with people going through divorce, working on relationships, helping them heal whatever part of them needs to be focused on. And he is the source of so much of our content, and he's the one who really delivers our programs and leads so many others in also delivering programs. So I want you to tap into this person who brings so much to the world and makes a difference in so many people's lives. He has worked with hundreds and hundreds of people and couples as well. So the insight that he has in terms of relationships and his own work that he's done is invaluable. Now, what this is today we're going to talk about regrets and guilt and shame. And more importantly, because I've talked about these things before, is that you're going to hear from him talking about how do you go deeper with this? What are some of the things to think about? Now, the context of the video you're about to see is that this comes from a class that we did for people who have already been through our 10-week program. These are people who are graduates of the program. So they don't have the intense feelings like anger and sadness, and they have learned how to start valuing themselves better. They are people who have done a lot of work on themselves. And yet, one of the things that they wanted to do was go deeper on this idea of that they still have thoughts about their ex. They still haven't put the past in the past. They are still not indifferent to their ex. So this was from a special class that we did on rumination. This is they spent 5 weeks working on, for a total of 10 hours, working on just simply these ideas of, why do I keep thinking about my ex? What is it that keeps me stuck there? So these snippets here are just a very small portion where Nick was talking to them about regret, guilt, and things like that, and then taking that into looking at giving yourself peace. What is that? And then a few additional thoughts about that. So what you're going to hear is 5 different clips. That was a small portion of the class, but I think these are some really powerful things about regret and guilt. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell. We'd love to have you join this. We're going to be doing more of this where you get to hear directly from Nick about what's going on. So stay tuned and listen to this, and hopefully it helps you on your journey moving forward.
I'm going to ask you to be Frank Sinatra for a minute, okay? Regrets, I've had a few. You know how the song goes? So, but then again, too few to mention. So let's not mention very many of them, okay? So seriously, regrets, this is what a regret is. A regret is, I wish I knew then what I know now. That's what a regret is. Guilt is, I did something that violated my code of ethics, my values, my standards. That's guilt. I did something wrong. Regret is not so much I did something wrong. I just wish I knew then and I wouldn't have done it. So it's really an important distinction to me. So you couldn't have done it, and so it's false. Most of this is false guilt. True. False guilt is when we have our inner judge and critic talking to us. You should have known. You should have fixed it. You should have known better. You should have known, it's your fault. And reality was, you didn't know. You were programmed to do what you did. And the program didn't allow for it. Just didn't. And now you're in the process of writing a new program. So false guilt is buying what the judge and critic are selling. You didn't really do anything wrong in terms of the standards that you knew to live by. You lived by what you knew to live by consistently and with integrity. It didn't allow for you to know what you felt. It didn't allow for you to know what you needed. And therefore you could not convey that to her. And when she said or did something, how did that make you feel? When she said or did something, what was the effect on you? Well, you couldn't communicate that because you didn't know. You said things, did things. Hurting people hurt people. Right? That's a psychological truth. It's an axiom. It's hurting people, unless they're in authentic consciousness, victim consciousness, hurting people hurt people. We take our pain out on others. And so you were in a lot of pain before the 2 years, even. But you numbed that. You accommodated, you gave in, you numbed the pain of that. And then as it started to unravel more, then the pain started to surface more. And then you started to be aggressive and acerbic and all the things that we do when we try to hurt somebody else. But you didn't have a consciousness of what was underneath all that. You just knew that you were in pain and you wanted to take it out on it. So some of it was regret, I'm suggesting. And some of it was guilt, that you knew you were doing something wrong, but you were going to darn well do it anyway. So you said and did things that now you regret. You wish you had known better 4 years ago, whatever that was. What I'm talking to you about now, you didn't know that then. And you could have found more constructive ways to deal with your pain, but you didn't know that. So you can have a little bit of guilt, you can have a little bit of regret, you can have a little bit of shame. Those are all part of the deal that we all do. And I don't know, few exceptions to that in my experience, in that critical period where we really so desperately try to make it work, so desperately are holding on, and at the same time, in our desperation, say and do things that are not helpful. So it's really letting it, forgiving yourself meaning I come to peace with me. I come to acceptance with me. I realize I did and said things that I wish I had not. I did not know better at the time, and I can quote forgive myself, and I deserve to forgive myself. I am not overly enamored of the word forgive, but in this context, I think you can get it. So that would be, oh, I need to let that go. I want to have peace inside of myself. Oh, then I need to let that go more. And I want to have peace inside of myself. And so every day I'm going to create more peace, have that be a mantra. Every day I'm going to create more peace with my past, more letting go of my past.